Did you know that certain foods could be secretly making you lose muscle mass? You're hitting the gym, lifting heavy, getting your protein in, but then, unknowingly consuming foods that sabotage your progress. Stay tuned to find out which foods are the culprits and how to avoid them to maximize your muscle building potential. We're going to break down the science behind muscle loss and give you practical tips to prevent it. I'll share healthier food swaps and lifestyle changes that can make a world of difference. Remember, building muscle isn't just about what you do in the gym, but also about what you put into your body. By the end of this video, you'll understand the most important points about muscle loss and how to prevent it. You'll be armed with the knowledge to make smarter food choices and finally see the gains you've been working so hard for. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Alright guys, let's talk about sugary drinks. I know, they taste good, they're refreshing, but trust me, they are your worst enemy when it comes to building muscle. And I'm not just talking about sodas here. We're talking about those fancy sports drinks, sweetened juices, and even those seemingly harmless flavored waters. Here's the thing, sugar is sugar, no matter how you try to dress it up. When you gulp down a sugary drink, your blood sugar levels go through the roof. This triggers a massive insulin spike, and while insulin is important for getting nutrients into your cells, too much of it can actually lead to muscle breakdown. Think of it like this, insulin is like a double-edged sword. On one hand, it helps shuttle glucose into your muscle cells for energy and growth. On the other hand, when you overload your system with sugar, insulin goes into overdrive, pushing that glucose into fat cells instead of muscle cells. And to make matters worse, high insulin levels also suppress the release of growth hormone, which is essential for muscle repair and growth. So, not only are you not building muscle, but you're also potentially breaking down existing muscle mass. What happens is, when your blood sugar crashes after that initial spike, your body goes into a catabolic state, meaning it starts breaking down muscle for fuel. Not exactly the recipe for those gains you're after, right? Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about after a workout? Don't I need those sugary sports drinks to refuel? Listen, plain old water is your best bet for hydration after a workout. If you need some electrolytes, opt for unsweetened coconut water or a low-sugar electrolyte drink. So, ditch the sugary drinks, guys. They're just empty calories and a one-way ticket to muscle lossville. Choose water, unsweetened tea, or even black coffee. Your muscles will thank you for it. Alright, let's talk about another sneaky muscle stealer, alcohol. Now, I'm not here to preach about teetotalism. We all enjoy a drink or two from time to time, but it's crucial to understand how alcohol can impact your muscle-building goals. Here's the deal. Alcohol interferes with protein synthesis, the very process your body uses to build and repair muscle tissue. When you consume alcohol, it throws a wrench in your muscle-building machinery. Think of it like this. You're working hard at the gym, lifting weights, creating those micro tears in your muscle fibers. That's a good thing because those tears are what allow your muscles to rebuild bigger and stronger. But when alcohol enters the picture, it disrupts this whole process, slowing down the repair and recovery process. And it gets worse. Alcohol also messes with your hormone levels. It lowers testosterone, a key hormone for muscle growth, while simultaneously increasing cortisol, the stress hormone that can actually break down muscle tissue. Talk about a double whammy. But that's not all. Alcohol also disrupts your sleep, and we all know how important sleep is for muscle recovery and growth. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces less growth hormone, hindering your body's ability to build and repair muscle. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up alcohol completely, but moderation is key. If you're serious about gaining muscle, consider limiting your alcohol intake, especially during the week when you're hitting the gym hard. Remember, every time you choose to drink, you're potentially sacrificing gains. So choose wisely. Let's talk about processed foods, the silent killers of your gains. You know the ones I'm talking about, those packaged snacks, frozen meals, and fast food options that seem so convenient and tempting. But trust me, they are loaded with hidden dangers that can sabotage your muscle-building efforts. First off, processed foods are often packed with trans fats, those nasty fats that have been linked to a whole host of health problems, including muscle loss. Trans fats create inflammation in the body which can interfere with muscle growth and repair. They also mess with your insulin sensitivity, making it harder for your body to use glucose effectively, leading to fat storage instead of muscle growth. And as if trans fats weren't bad enough, processed foods are also notorious for their high sodium content. Excess sodium can lead to water retention, making you feel bloated and puffy, not exactly the lean, muscular look you're going for. But here's the thing, it's not just about what processed foods contain, but also what they lack. They're often stripped of essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that are crucial for muscle growth and overall health. Think about it, your body needs a wide array of nutrients to function optimally, including building and repairing muscle tissue. When you fill up on processed foods, you're essentially depriving your body of the building blocks it needs to build those gains. So, ditch the processed junk and opt for whole, unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. These foods are packed with nutrients that will fuel your muscles and support your fitness journey. Alright, let's talk about fried foods. I know they're crispy, they're delicious, but they are also a one-way ticket to muscle lossville. Here's why. Fried foods are loaded with unhealthy fats, particularly saturated and trans fats, which, as we discussed earlier, are detrimental to muscle growth. These fats trigger inflammation throughout your body, including your muscles, creating an environment that's not conducive to muscle repair and growth. Think of it like this. Inflammation is like a fire in your body. A little bit of inflammation is normal and even necessary for muscle growth, but when you're constantly bombarding your body with inflammatory foods like fried foods, you're essentially keeping that fire burning out of control, leading to muscle damage and hindering growth. But it's not just the unhealthy fats that are the problem. When foods are fried at high temperatures, they produce harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. AGEs contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation, further exacerbating muscle loss. And let's not forget about the acrylamide, another carcinogenic compound formed in starchy foods during frying. Acrylamide has been linked to nerve damage, which can negatively impact muscle function and growth. So, next time you're craving something crispy and crunchy, ditch the deep fryer and opt for healthier cooking methods like baking, grilling, or air frying. Alright, let's talk about white bread, the seemingly innocent breakfast staple that could be secretly sabotaging your muscle gains. You might be thinking, bread? Really? How bad can it be? Well, let's break it down. White bread is essentially refined carbohydrates stripped of their fiber, nutrients, and all the good stuff. What you're left with is a fast-digesting carbohydrate that spikes your blood sugar levels, leading to that dreaded insulin surge we talked about earlier. Remember, when your blood sugar spikes, insulin rushes in to clear the glucose from your bloodstream. While some of that glucose goes to fuel your cells, excess glucose gets stored as fat, especially if your muscle glycogen stores are already full. And here's the kicker. White bread has a high glycemic index, GI, which means it causes a rapid and significant spike in blood sugar levels. This is in contrast to low GI foods, which release glucose into the bloodstream more slowly, providing sustained energy without those drastic blood sugar fluctuations. But it's not just about the blood sugar spikes. White bread also lacks essential nutrients like protein and fiber that are crucial for muscle growth and satiety. Without adequate protein, your body can't repair and rebuild muscle tissue efficiently. And without enough fiber, you'll likely feel hungry soon after eating, leading to overconsumption of calories and potential fat storage. So, ditch the white bread and opt for whole grain bread or other complex carbohydrates like brown rice, quinoa, or sweet potatoes. These options are packed with fiber, nutrients, and will provide sustained energy without the blood sugar roller coaster. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, building muscle isn't just about hitting the gym, it's also about fueling your body with the right foods. By avoiding these muscle-stealing culprits and making healthier food choices, you'll be well on your way to maximizing your muscle-building potential. Stay tuned for more videos on how to optimize your diet and training for maximum gains. Stay healthy and strong.